From the Republic Media Network headquarters, it's time for Arnab Goswami on the debate. Arnab Goswami on the debate.
And time now for the nation's sharpest opinion. There is a war within the Tata Group. It should have been a spark, maybe a battle, but it's a full-fledged war now. It is a power struggle. Some people are saying there's an attempt at a coup to take over the Tatas. They're saying the Tatas are going to break up. Ladies and gentlemen, this feud raging at the very heart of India's biggest conglomerate, the Tata Group, must be spoken about in the media. The problem with many people in the media, they don't talk about the Tata Group because they will have their own interests. They'll say Tatas are big advertisers, they have many companies, and therefore don't speak about it, don't upset anyone. But we must speak the truth, ladies and gentlemen. This is a very big battle. There is Tata Trust, which controls 2/3 of Tata Sons, which controls the whole group. And there are clearly two sides in this battle. On the one side are those who say it's about the Tata name, ladies and gentlemen. Those are pictures, ladies and gentlemen, of Chandrasekaran, the chief of the Tatas, the operating chief. Can I please go to what I'm speaking about right now? At the core of this battle are two sides. One side is that of Noel Tata. Noel Tata is the chairman of Tata Trusts and his allies on the one side. And on the other side is Mehli Mistry and a faction which is aligned with the Shapurji Palonji family, old business family, historic shareholders who have held sway for generations, ladies and gentlemen. And these two sides are fighting. The Shapurji Palonji family and people who are loyal to them. Representatives on the board who are believed to be loyal to them. And then there is Noel Tata, represents the Tata name. And we must ask ourselves one question: what would the Tata Group be without the Tatas? Some people are saying, okay, we can have the Tata Group without the Tatas, but can you? Can you? Yesterday we had some visuals of the Tata Trust chairman, Noel Tata, ladies and gentlemen. And the visuals were of Venu Srinivasan, the vice chairman of the Tata Trust, Darius Kambata and other people. We can go to the visuals, please. Of the meeting, please. Thank you, producers. Thank you so much, producers. Thank you so much for doing this. We had these visuals of all these people lining up at Amit Shah's residence. And we are told the finance minister, Nirmala Sitharaman, was also there. Now, it's not every day that you have the biggest names from the biggest group in the country. Can we remove all the grommeted visuals, please? Thank you. Can I request all the producers to remove all the grommeted visuals? Thank you. Now, all these people were meeting at Amit Shah's house. The question is, what was going on last night? Viewers, this is a big corporate battle, and it's reached today the residence of the Home Minister of the country. This is a business empire that spans 100 countries, 6 continents. It has a market cap of about $330 billion US, a turnover of over $180 billion. It's a big battle, a huge battle. And what has led to this? There are different reasons we are told why this battle has happened. First, we are told that one of the issues, the tricky issues, is whether Tata Sons chairman Chandrasekaran should be given another 5-year extension at the age of 65, whether he can be allowed to tweak the rules and continue to be chairman. The second issue of contention, we are told, is about whether there should be a listing of Tata Sons, which will help the Shapurji Palonji group exit and liquidate its stake from Tata Sons and make a lot of money. And the third issue is about whether there is enough corporate governance around issues like transparency and board appointments. Now, whatever these issues may be, they are small issues. They are almost petty issues for a group of the size and scale of the Tatas. They are not big issues enough. So there are a few questions. Are some people coming together to carry out a coup? Is this attempt of a coup within the Tata Group to take over the Tata Group? Are there people from outside who are using the situation to carry out a coup in the Tata Group? Imagine, ladies and gentlemen, if there is an attempted takeover of the Tata Group by people from outside using any issue, the passing away of Ratan Tata, the apparent indecision, or questions of following regulations or listing, if the Tata Group control shifts to other people and out of the Tata family, how major a thing that will be. Now, the other question is, ladies and gentlemen, if the Tata Group shakes up, there is a lot at stake. This is not about investor confidence, governance norms. The Tata Group is directly linked to the Indian economy. India's biggest airline, Air India. Tatas are the biggest and most trusted defense partner of the government and the DRDO. Imagine today, for example, if I were to just give you an example, you can take away the visuals, they're very distracting. They are being run without any reference to context, so if that can be taken away, it will help me a lot, please. Imagine today, viewers, Samsung and Korea, LG and Korea. Imagine, ladies and gentlemen, what the Tatas are to India. Imagine if the Tatas lose control over, the Tata family loses control over the Tata Group. Imagine if people from outside, foreigners, enter. Imagine if there is direct or indirect control through proxies of foreign interests. Ladies and gentlemen, imagine what that would do to the country. People are asking, why is the central government getting involved? It is for this very reason. The central government has been forced to get involved is because something wrong could happen. Because the Tata Group, whether we like it or not, and I have had a lot of differences with this group, especially in their pathetic running of Air India of late, but despite that, I would say the Tata Group is a national asset. The second question, which is a technical question, which emerges is, as per the rules, should the Tata Group go public? Should it be listed? These are various technical issues, but that's not the core issue. The core issue is whether the Tata Group will remain the same without the Tata name or the Tata family members. Will the ethics, the accountability, the values, the trust factor of the group remain the same if there is a control issue which emerges? If other people from outside, directly or indirectly, take it over. You will always, those people will say, no, we're going to run it in a professional way. But the question is, will it be the same? Therefore, this is not just about corporate politics. It's a fight for the soul of a 156-year-old legacy, a group which has been associated with integrity and trust. Ladies and gentlemen, it has also been the basis of India's private sector industrial backbone for years. If this group breaks up, collapses, or is taken over by people who are not integral to the group, then does the impact of that go beyond one single family? Ladies and gentlemen, I believe it does. I believe that the consequences will be tremendous and very, very worrying. Ladies and gentlemen, I know the other members of the media are not speaking about what's happening in the Tatas, but we should, at least here on Republic, start having an open conversation on this. The Tata Group represents much more than just its valuation. Let's debate.
Hundreds of subsidiaries, 30 listed companies, from salt to software, all under one prestigious organization with a legacy of 156 years. Their brands are many, but their name is household. This is the legacy of the House of Tatas. Exactly a year ago, on the 9th of October, Ratan Tata passed away at the age of 86. leaving his half-brother Noel Tata at the helm of affairs of the Tata Trust, the umbrella body that controls 65% stake in Tata Sons, the promoter entity of Tata Group of companies. However, on the 11th of September 2025, when the board of directors of Tata Trust convened to reappoint one of the 6 directors, a new supermajority emerged, one that went against Noel Tata's bid for reappointment of one of the trustees. Such an impasse at the highest level of Tata Trust has further raised concerns, as the trust has a vast expanse of powers, including controlling the board of Tata Sons through nominee directors and taking key decisions, among others. The infighting of the group has taken such a serious turn that the government has been forced to intervene. Last evening, Noel Tata, the chairman of Tata Trust, and N. Chandrasekaran, the chairman of Tata Sons, met top ministers of the Modi government at Home Minister Amit Shah's residence. The meetings is said to have lasted several hours, and the message, a subtle nudge to sort out issues. The impact of this infighting is widespread on the Indian economy. Tata Group of companies have a combined market capitalization of $1 billion. The Tata Group alone contributes to over 21,000 crore in corporate tax revenue. Also at stake in this battle is a possible impasse over governance of Tata Trust, with reputational risks to the legacy of the Tata Group. Investor sentiment is also heightened as the Tata Group faces a new leadership test under Noel Tata. The clock is ticking. The Tata Trust board is set to convene tomorrow again for a crucial meeting. Will the Delhi dash make a difference? Only time will tell.
Ladies and gentlemen, joining us today is senior advocate in the Supreme Court of India, former Attorney General, has had a long history, a very long history of association with the Tata Group. In fact, in 2020, Mr. Mukul Rohatgi had been roped in along with several other top lawyers, Mr. Abhishek Singhvi, Harish Salve, Mohan Parasaran at that time, by the Tatas to challenge the decision of the National Company Law Appellate Tribunal that gave a relief to Cyrus Mistry. So he knows a lot about this group, but he also knows about corporate wars. And he knows at what point of time people need to intervene. So we must talk candidly, Mr. Rohatgi. We must be very frank today. What is going on in the Tata Group? I mean, just to hear the headline that the government's been forced to intervene, shouldn't they have sorted this out amongst themselves?
Arnab, you have echoed my views. Let me tell you at the outset, I personally know all the personalities whose names are appearing in the paper, whether it is Mr. Noel Tata, whether it is Melli Mistry, whether it is my colleague Darius Khambata, whether it is Mr. Chandra, I know all of them. They are all very experienced and sagacious people. According to me, this should never ever have gone out of the the precincts of the Tata office. They should have sorted it out themselves. And according to me, from whatever I have read, these are not some great major issues, something, akin to a fight between late Mr. Mistry and late Mr. Tata. The name of Tata, the house of Tatas, the brand of Tatas took a beating then. It will take a beating now if these issues simmer. And these are not issues of any hostile takeover or you see anything like that. There are small issues, piffling issues. They may be troubling various parties. Why can't they sort it out? And they should sort it out within the precincts of the Tata office or the Tata house. Otherwise, please, I'm a well-wisher of Tatas and so are a million people in this country. Everybody respects the name of Tatas. It's a name which signifies reliability. It signifies, integrity. It has a great reputation, etc. It has a lot of presence in the stock market. Everything, will get diluted. Competition will take over. And as you know, the stock market, is so delicate that if you sneeze, it has an effect on the market. What kind of effect will it have? I mean, I'm surprised why the central government had to intervene. Why they did not keep it under wraps. I'm very surprised.
Can this go legal? Can this go legal?
But Arnab, I hope it does not. The earlier fight was also very unsavory. It was actually for no reason. But I don't want to comment anything today because both are deceased, whether it's Mr. Ratan Tata, whether it is Cyrus. It was completely unsavory and unnecessary. And if it goes legal, things get hardened, views get hardened, people take sides. And, as a lawyer, I mean, it's fine, I would appear for one against the other. And lawyers will make money at the expense of the name of Tatas. I sincerely hope, as a well-wisher of Tatas, that this should not go legal at all.
Now, what is the issue here? If you can explain in layman terms, not everybody understands all these percentage numbers, but layman terms, people are saying, listen, Tata Sons controls all these companies of Tata Group. Then one group called Tata Trust is controlling 2/3 of Tata Sons. 2/3, that's a lot. People control companies with 10% equity. These people own 2/3 of Tata Sons. What's the confusion here? Where is the possibility of a coup which is being spoken about here? Where is that angle coming from?
No, Arnab, you are absolutely right. And let me tell you, you would have made a great lawyer.
Oh God, that compliment coming from you, my God, that's so fantastic.
No, because the views that you have expressed are absolutely kind of on the dot. If Tata Trusts is the controlling body,
correct,
it controls Tata Sons, and Tata Sons is the nerve center which controls all the Tata companies.
All of them.
All the Tata companies below who have managing directors or directors, they will all report to Mr. Chandra, who is the chairman of Tata Sons, and Mr. Chandra will report to the trust because the trust controls. It's a 3-tier pyramidal structure, very simple.
Yeah.
Now, as you rightly say, and as I said, if there is no issue of a hostile takeover, I remember, a hostile takeover bid in the 90s when Suraj Pal...
I remember that. Caparo Group, yeah. Remember that.
Yeah, he wanted to take over, this DCM and other companies, and that led to a battle in the Supreme Court. Now, this is not a case of takeover. It is their structure which is solid. As you rightly say, if 2/3 is controlled by Tata Trusts, I don't see any real reason. According to me, these are some small issues which are kind of simmering or which have gone to the head or the heart of these people. They're all very well-to-do people. They've done well in life. There's nobody, who's standing with a begging bowl or something like that. Some small issues relating to some appointments. It's what I have read in the papers. I have not spoken to any of these persons, though I know them pretty well. It seems to be small issues of appointments of certain people, etc. I am actually baffled by this news suddenly appearing in the papers that they have gone to meet the Honorable Home Minister and the Finance Minister. I mean, this can lead to sparks, and the sparks can lead to a fire. I hope it doesn't happen.
Oh, that's very well said. That's going to be the headline today from Mukul Rohatgi. Sparks can lead to a fire. I hope it does not happen. And ladies and gentlemen, in battles like this, there are egos involved. Rohatgi ji is a very top lawyer, corporates he's represented. I think that what happens eventually is small things become big. It's not always about money and exits and valuation and debt. It goes into other things, right?
I see it every day, Arnab, and let me share my experience that I find disputes between families or family members in a running business, those are far more bitter to settle as opposed to a dispute between two strangers who may be in the commercial world, because the egos kick in all family disputes. I mean, I don't want to take any family dispute which is currently pending. I think 50% of it is ego. It's like saying, मेरे को नहीं चाहिए तो फिर आपको भी नहीं मिलना चाहिए. It doesn't matter, whatever happens. This is what is happening.
But Tata is big, Tata. Why does Tata need to be stable? I was saying yesterday, someone called me saying, why did the government get in? I said, probably. My guess is government came in because if Tata cracks, it will have impact beyond the company. Tata is not an ordinary group. It has a systemic impact on the country. So is that also...
I think, Arnab, you need not have called me, because everything you say is echoing me.
Yeah. So, the crack is worrying, right? If Tata
so
cracks...
just imagine the figures you gave, a major player in the Indian economy. It is synonymous with an emerging India. They make salt to tea to cars to trucks to God knows what. If Tata starts sinking or cracking, what impact will have on the Indian economy? The Indian economy is soon going to be the third largest. It will take a hit even on this issue. The third and the fourth largest are very, very big numbers.
Yep.
But yes, it will certainly take a hit. And I would appeal to all these gentlemen to look beyond their small issues.
Yeah.
Look beyond this to the fact that Tatas is the name of 150 or 200 years. This country respects Tatas.
Yep.
A common man will say that Tata ka product hai, aankh band karke le lijiye.
Trust.
Whether it is salt or soap or tea or car or whatever. I hope better sense prevails. But I must say, I would actually laud the stand of the central government in the Home Minister taking a lead and calling these people.
Why?
And I wouldn't be surprised if he would have given them a piece of his mind. That, look,
so?
Gentlemen, you can't do this kind of thing because, the entire base of the economy should not start kind of shaking or have earthquakes because of some petty or small disputes. That's what I feel.
Yeah, I also think so. I don't think the government or Mr. Amit Shah would have wanted to get into it unless it had peaked to a point where the government was starting to get concerned about overall impact.
I think so.
Yeah. It's such a pleasure to talk to you, Mr. Rohatgi. Thank you so much for sharing your insight.
Thank you. I repeat my offer. You can become a lawyer and come with me.
So, I become a lawyer. Okay, at this stage, good thought. Okay.
See, lawyers, you can become a lawyer at any age.
No, with all you big people, Harish Salve, Abhishek Singhvi, Mukul Rohatgi, where will I survive in that?
No, we will welcome you with open arms. Please come.
Oh, that's a good offer. Ladies and gentlemen, my viral moment of the day, an offer to be a lawyer at this young age by Mr. Mukul Rohatgi. I'm going to treasure this. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you for talking to me, sir. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. Okay, we got a great panel. And since this is the last program, I'm going to be anchoring because PK, after this, I'm going to the bar, straight to law school. After this, straight to law school for me. I have to do my LLB and be a lawyer. Oh, God. We have Ajay Bagga with us.
You don't have to do that because Mr. Rohatgi has given you a direct pass to the Supreme Court.
Gopal, you all collectively pull my leg. Okay, fine. That's fantastic. Gopal Jain, Senior Advocate, Supreme Court there. Mukul Rohatgi was there. Ajay Bagga, great macro voice tonight. So happy to have him. Thomas Matthew, he is the authorized biographer of Ratan Tata. He was on Tata's board, very, very close to Ratan Tata. Thank you very much, Thomas, for joining us. Right, we have PK Basu also there with us, ladies and gentlemen. And we are going to be opening up this discussion with first asking Ajay, what is corporate India talking about this? What is the feeling in corporate India about this? Ajay. We also Rajesh Mahapatra, former editor PTI. Sorry, Rajesh, for the late introduction there. Thank you. Ajay, what's going on with the Tatas, really?
Thank you, Arnab, for having me on this fantastic show. I think this is still a storm in a teacup right now. I have seen the 90s battle when Ratan Tata took over the Tatas helm from JRD, and how the satraps tried to run a revolt and how he handled them. We have all seen the Cyrus Mistry term and then the ending of Cyrus Mistry's term and how Mr. Ratan Tata came back with his team. This time around, this is a very small, minor skirmish in comparison. There is no legal basis for a coup. So clearly, a Tata has inherited the Tata legacy. A Tata is the chairman of Tata Trust. And if the few of the trustees are not agreeable to the governance, the doors are open for them. So it's not the fight for survival that Ratan Tata did in the 1990s when we were all young, market persons. At that time, we watched from afar and how he handled it. It's not even a patch on what he had to face with the Cyrus exit and how he won it. And the great news is the Supreme Court case law is sitting behind the Tatas. It's as recent as 3 to 4 years old, where Ratan Tata won that case against the Cyrus Mistry full imbroglio. So I don't see this as very big, Arnab, but people are worried more on why Noel Tata and Chandra had to go to meet the Home Minister and Finance Minister. What is happening? 10th October, Arnab, our trust meeting is on. Again, as Mukul Rohtagi said very well, I know all the players personally, and they're all such fine gentlemen. Like, somebody like a Jahangir, Kawasti Jahangir, name is not taken. He's a trustee. He's from the Kawasti Jahangir family who have, donated half of South Bombay to the city of Bombay. These are very fine, spectacular gentlemen. I don't see much coming out of this. I hope that it is settled behind closed doors. But the legitimacy of Noel Tata is unquestionable. So I don't see this as big a fight.
So you see Noel winning this eventually?
Noel Tata wins very easily, very easily.
What happens to the four other trustees? There is Mehul Mistry, there is Pramit Javeri, ex-city banker, there is Mr. Jahangir, there is Darius Kambata, right? There are four of them. And what they are saying is that these people, I go to PK next, that these four have outnumbered, however influential today Noel Tata may be, and of course backed by the very, very respected Mr. Venu Srinivasan, right? Very, very, very respected man there of the TVS group. They are saying that Mr. Venu Srinivasan and Mr. Noel Tata have been outnumbered within the Tata Trust, with four people challenging with one of the trustees, Vijay Singh, who was up for reappointment, being rejected, that the game has changed. The power struggle is on, but now the weight is on the other side of numbers. PK, do you look at it that way? Do you think the Tatas that Noel Tata can be outnumbered within the Tata Group?
Well, in Tata Trusts, it appears that he is outnumbered at the moment. But the important thing is that, the Tatas are run very professionally. It's a professionally run group. It's quite different from many of the, family-run conglomerates in the country. So the only challenge with Tatas is that with Tata Trusts, sometimes both Tata Trust and Tata Sons is run by the same person. Most of the time it has been. This time, there is a professional running Tata Sons. That is a big shift. A professional, non-Parsi, non-family member, Chandra, is running Tata Sons. That is the main operating group company. So that is a change from the past. In the past, Ratan Tata or JRD Tata would run both Tata Trusts and Tata Sons. And so governance was slightly less complicated. But you'll notice, as Ajay Bagga pointed out quite clearly, quite correctly, there's the only periods of instability within the Tata Group are when there is a shift in the top leadership. It's just been exactly a year now since Ratan Tata's passing. Noel Tata was relatively inexperienced in terms of having a role in the Tata Group companies. So that's not that different from Ratan Tata himself. When he succeeded GRD, he was relatively inexperienced. There were many more experienced people running the various group companies, and there was an attempt by them to pressurize Ratan Tata to move in their direction. So this sort of thing does happen. It is very. I think the Tata Group today is even more important than it was, say, 30 years ago. It now has a big international presence. In the UK, the Tatas for about 15 or 20 years have been the largest employers. The UK, not only is JLR a Tata company, but what used to be British Steel, Chorus, is also Tata. So apart from TCS's big presence, there is a very, very significant Tata presence in the UK economy, apart from the Indian economy. And in various other parts of the world, they have a significant presence. So it is of not only national, but also of some international consequence that stability be maintained in the Tata Group. And this sort of ruction does not go out of the boardroom and start causing instability within the various group companies. So I think it is good that the central government is trying to play peacemaker, trying to soften some of the ruffled feathers, and try and improve the quality of governance and the nature of governance between Tata Sons and Tata Trust. Now, the interesting point here, of course, is that most people would agree that Chandra has been a remarkable leader for Tata Sons. And the question is, should he continue? I think one of the questions is, should he continue? Almost anybody in the markets would prefer to see him continue. And, imposing an age limit on the leader of Tata Sons doesn't seem the most rational thing to do. GRD continued to run it for, I think, into his 90s. Ratan Tata ran Tata Trusts all the way until he passed. So, 65 seems too early
fact is,
for
PK,
someone like Chandra.
Yeah, see, the
to
fact
give up
is,
the reins.
PK, there is a fight between two parts been going on for a very long time. We know about it, and the fight has been on between the Tata family and all on one side, and then the Shapoorji Pallonji group on the other, who are some significant 18% shareholders. Thomas Matthew, who is the authorized biographer of Ratan Tata, has been on Tata's board. Why don't they just end this fight by allowing the listing of the whole Tata conglomerate? Is it possible to do that? Is my first question. Because people supporting the Shapoorji Pallonji group are saying, give them an exit, let them make a lot of money, or give them a partial exit. And do the rules mandate a listing of Tata Sons? Because the RBI has classified Tata Sons as upper layer NBFC apparently, which means they have to go for a public listing. Why does the group resist going public is my first question. And what would Ratan Tata himself have wanted in this situation, since you knew him so well?
Yeah, Arnab, thank you for having me on your show, but please don't leave Republic and take Mukul Rohtagi's offer. He may welcome you with open arms, but then after that, I do not know whether the arms will remain open. He's a lawyer. Okay?
Ah, right.
So, but I would agree with most of what Mr. Rohtagi said, and I will not take such a dystopian view, of this. It is, it's a small crisis. To me, it will blow over. Now, when R&T took over in 1991, please understand that Rusi Modi had gone and met the Prime Minister of the country and the Finance Minister, saying that he needs to be supported and R&T should not be given the support of the government. And what did the government say? That time the crisis was more serious. That time the government said, go home, settle your battles at home, don't bring it to the government. Okay. Now then it was the seat of Tata Sons that was in contention. Today it is only Tata Trust. There are only two trusts, that is Sir Ratan Tata Trust and Dorabji Trust together, which own 66% of Tata Sons. Okay. Now I understand that with every change in power equation, whether it is the time of Caesar, whether it is a time of Trump, all over the world where there is power, when there is a change, you will find small tremors. In Republic TV, the tremors turn to earthquakes, but I don't think that's exactly the case with Tata Trust today. I believe that they will be able to settle these issues. Yes, egos will come to play, and when the government has intervened, I think that they should find a solution. And number two, with regard to the question raised about Mr. Noel Tata, there is something we need to understand. The whole country and the world in many ways respects the word Tata. Tata stands for trust, honesty, and integrity. And Noel Tata, as a part of the research in the book, we were able to unearth that Mr. Ratan Tata and Noel Tata belong to the same bloodline as the founder Jamshedji Tata. They have a common ancestor called Bika Tata. So therefore, to me, he is the real holder of the light of the Tata ethics, values, and honesty. And I don't know what coup we are talking about. I think the coup d'etat is what we are imagining. And the other point you raised is whether it should be listed or not.
Yes.
Okay. On that, the Supreme Court had already taken a decision. And now it is before the RBI. The RBI will have to take a final decision. I'm not going to second guess what they're going to do. But should it be listed or not listed is something you'll have to weigh after looking at all the existing laws and whether there is a need to do it. And the next question, what would Mr. Ratan Tata would have done? Let me tell you something. Ratan Tata was the most humble Caesar you could ever find in this world. Great humility, not aggressive at all, but his presence alone was enough to ensure that there were no simmers, there were no tremors, there were no earthquakes, and things went on so smoothly. Like, Mr. Basu said, it is not India alone, where Tata is famous.
Yep.
Tatas, as he said, has been the largest private sector employer in UK. And the British Prime Minister personally used to invite Mr. Ratan Tata. And even in the United States today, when I went to interview over 133 people, and many across the United States, India became known in some parts of the US, in the remote parts of the US, only because of Tata. So Tata is like, if I am sure you remember the Frank Dodd Act of 2010, Tatas are too big to fail. And let us also understand that Tata Sons is a completely separate entity. Tata Trusts have 3 directors in Tata Sons. And as Mr. Basu said, you have an amazing chairman called Mr. Chandrasekaran, whom R&T said would bring in stability, no noise, but great action on behalf of the Tata Group and take it forward in a technology regime that we are seeing and architecture. So that's my answer in short, Arnab.
Yes. I do understand this. I mean, I was asking Mr. Rohatgi, where is the question of a coup when there is 66% control? I said people nowadays, promoters control companies with 5 or 10% with significant powers allotted to those shares. But where is the question of a coup? But this is being spoken about, Gopal, as some kind of a coup, because you have 4 people who are openly fighting with Noel Tata. Noel Tata, who represents the bloodline, Noel Tata, the only Tata name, among the trustees, and 4 people are saying, listen, we don't like the way you're running things. We have questions about transparency, corporate governance, so on and so forth. Is this being engineered from outside? Are there people, Gopal, who would like to see things get troubled within Tata Trusts, especially in today's time, globally?
Say that it is wrong characterization as things stand to style it as a coup. I think there seems to be some difference of opinion, if I may call it like that, or merely a tea in a storm, smaller issue blown out of context. Now, certainly today, as you rightly said, you cannot rule out somebody from behind the scenes fueling something. But for a minute, if he has to stay objective, I think there are eminent people there, and all of them need to have a strong closed-door meeting to try and resolve it. And now with facilitators there, I think they can play the role of a positive catalyst so that this can be nipped in the bud. And we definitely don't want this to go out of sync and become a full-blown thing, because as a conglomerate, they're very important, not just in India, but globally. So ensuring stability and ensuring that there is peace all around is perhaps why, as news reports suggest, we have the highest people in government who also don the cap of a facilitator. So I think presently, instead of speculating, I think all efforts and energy should be in the direction of resolving this issue pronto. And perhaps then we can actually bid Tata to a potentially brewing dispute.
But it's not the government's job to sort these things out, is it, Rajesh? Why has the government stepped in? The government didn't step in 2016, for example, when Cyrus Mistry was sacked as Tata Sons chairman. There was a huge battle at that point of time that ran through the Supreme Court verdict in March, I think, 21. It wasn't the government stepping in then. Why has the government stepped in now?
Well, the answer is yes and no. The government doesn't necessarily have to intervene. And clearly, I think the issue that is at stake here, I don't think it really merits government's intervention. And as several speakers have said, this is something which should have been sorted out in the boardroom, and it could have been sorted out. Having said that, why the government is concerned, and I think that is also something which has been outlined very elaborately by others, which is Tata Group is not just a business company. It's not just a business conglomerate. It's a huge, huge business empire with significant consequences should something go wrong with it for the economy at large. By some estimates, it accounts for almost nearly 3 to 4% of India's GDP. It employs tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of people. And some of these things maybe already we might be seeing that impact. Today, for instance, Tata Capital's IPO closed. And when the IPO was coming about, there was a lot of enthusiasm. But as we saw, the response was rather subdued. We do not know. Maybe, part of the reason lies with the noise that has kind of going around as to what is happening in the Tata boardroom. But Arnab, I want to come into the thing why the government has intervened and should the government have intervened. Well, in the past, when we have had such problems at India's large corporate business houses. One example was given about Rishi Modi when Ratan Tata was taking over. We have seen a similar thing happen with the Reliance Industries when Mukesh and Anil started fighting. We saw government did pitch in, but government did not, there's a thin line in facilitating a solution, resolution of a dispute and becoming a stakeholder in the dispute. That you have to be very careful. And then the optics of how you manage it. We do know that when KV Kamath was brought in to mediate, there was a certain amount of back channel talks that were going on from the North Bloc here. There have been instances of similar kind of facilitation when the Bajaj Group issue came up. But what I'm amazed and appalled is that you let that news out where Tata Group executives are driving in their Mercedes into Amit Shah's residence, and that's kind of beaming out on all television channels. That's bad optics. If you were concerned, you should have done it swiftly, under the radar, conveyed the message that this is a problem which is not only going to hurt you, it's also going to hurt India. It's also going to hurt India's image. You have had Air India crash. You have had the Jaguar Land Rover $2 billion problem. You have had a lot of bad news around Tatas in recent times. You have had the TCS layoffs. So this is all, adding up to bad optics. It may affect India's image as an investment decision, India's image as an emerging economic powerhouse. If those were your concerns and you want to stabilize, then you do it in a more swift, matured fashion. What I find that the optics haven't been very good, and the manner in which it has been sought to be done.
There's no official press release. Let me mind it. There's no official press release of the meeting from either the political side or the company executives.
That's fine. But the news is out.
Come on, you've been editor of PTI. You've been the editor of the Press Trust of India. It is people like you and me. Our job is to bring the news out.
Yes. And it is their job.
And PTI did a good job yesterday with putting the visuals out, by the way.
But it is also their job to keep it away from us.
But then did it deliberately go out?
Arnab, one last point.
Was there a deliberate attempt at not hiding this intervention?
I don't know. Probably they didn't think through it. I could say that. But what is important, Arnab, the question that you were raising, how do you resolve it? At the core of it, I won't say it's a coup attempt, but there certainly are serious differences of opinion as to in which direction and what direction the Tata Group should move into the future. And I think there are some issues there. But right now, the problem, you talked about the Mistry Group, the money that they need, because they have 30,000 crore debt. Now, there is what the government can do. The Tata Group has applied to be treated as an unregistered core investment company. That application is pending before RBI. The deadline for Tata Sons to list was September 30. That is gone. The government should do the job of being the lawkeeper. The RBI should tell them whether they want to treat them as an unregistered core investment company or not. And then it should be given out to them. No, you got to list Tata Sons. Tell it. Go by rule of law.
This is the point. Now, 1 minute. This is a very important point Rajesh has raised, Ajay. Now the question will be different. Treat Tata like any other organization. Right? And what is Tata Group saying? Tata Group is saying that, look here, we are not just any other company. You can't tell us we are a upper layer non-banking financial company and then you tell us that you go public. Tata Company is saying that, we are a private company. We've held private since 1960. Right? We have to preserve family control. The family must control. Tata must avoid the unnecessary volatility of exposure to the markets. We are appealing to the RBI. Am I saying this right, Thomas? I'm not a business journalist, but I hope I'm getting the sense of it right. We are telling the RBI, please give us an exemption. We have a trust-owned structure. We are a different kind of company. We are not just any other company. Don't rush us to have an IPO. This is about India. This is about trust. This is about Tatas. And then you have people like Rajesh, who say, no exemptions here. What should the government do?
No, Arnab, with the Tata Capital listing, a large chunk of the NBFC portion is already out now. So the whole reason for the Tata Capital listing was partly this, to avoid this issue of Tata Sons being listed. So the Tatas have taken a very sorted out approach. Secondly, RBI in the past has been quite flexible with a lot of promoters of banks holding higher quota than they were allowed to hold for multiple years. They have been given.
Would RBI get questioned if they do that for Tatas?
They have to get back. As September 30th was the deadline. Tata Capital has finished a successful IPO today. It will get listed in another week's time. It is in the public domain now. So a big issue with the Tata Sons listing has been resolved by the Tatas.
Yeah, I don't know.
I should give them some more time to ponder itself. on what it wants to do. But I think the Tatas have resolved this issue, Arnab.
Will the nature of the company change, Thomas, if it is forced to go public?
Yes, if it is forced to go public, everything will change. You have pros and cons for it. Like Ajay said, you can't take this decision in a hurry. Please understand, you're looking at a conglomerate of $180 billion. And, some of the panelists were talking about contribution to the GDP. It is 5.4% of the GDP. And one more important aspect is that the lion's share of the revenue comes from abroad, or at least when Ratan Tata, hung his boots, 60% of the entire turnover came from outside India. That is, out of the $100 billion, $60 billion came from abroad. So Tatas are not just like any other company or any small company, because there are several, it is salt to software to steel to defense today, okay? And it is going to be so critical for the nation that Tata Group remains as one entity,
private,
vibrant entity, upholding the principles of the, upholding, okay, let me complete. Upholding the principles which the founder, Jamshedji Tata, said should be the basic trust with which it should move forward, okay? Now, like Ajay said, we need to analyze, RBI would need to analyze if shifting from the status from private company to a listed company would make the organization less competitive or more competitive. Yeah. You have points, there'll be people who will come and argue there are millions and millions of shareholders of Tata companies, and these Tata companies in turn are not controlled, but influenced in big ways. In other words, you cannot raise capital, you will not be able to take big decisions unless Tata Sons approve. Now, at the same time, like Mr. Ajay said, we need to very carefully understand and analyze if a listing would change the nature and take away the vibrancy of the organization. After all, since 1917, when it became Tata Sons, when it was registered under the Indian Companies Act 1911, if I'm not mistaken, 1911 or 1912. Since then, it has survived, and not only survived, it has flourished and taken care of the industrial base of this country. Let's not do anything in a hurry which will disturb or shake the pillars.
I think there's a lot of sentiment in this country agreeing with you. Thomas, of late I have been one of the biggest critics of the Tata Group because of their severe mishandling of Air India. But then Air India is one out of several Tata companies. I hope they eventually get their act together on that. They've been a bit blasé about it. Having said that, the argument being presented by Thomas Matthew Gopal is this. That there is too much at stake. He's trying to basically say that there is too much at stake. It is not just one organization called Tata Sons. This organization controls too many other organizations. This organization directly or indirectly employs 1 million people. It is not an ordinary company contributing to 5% of the GDP, according to him. Right? So the stakes are very, very high. There are 26 publicly listed Tata companies alone. Their aggregate market capitalization is $328 billion, most valuable Indian entity. You can't treat it like anything else. And there will be people out there, Gopal, who will say, oh, okay, here's a golden opportunity.
And Arnab, a small aside. Arnab,
yes.
If I can intervene here.
Yes.
Tatas make every Indian proud. You know why? Even the Queen of England, the King of England rides a Tata Jaguar and a Land Rover. Yeah. There is no ceremonial occasion in UK without the royalty actually riding in an Indian-owned company.
So if tomorrow somebody, if it goes...
Chorus at one point made steel.
Yeah.
No, we need to also understand from the sentimental point of view. Chorus Steel Company at one point of time, one of its small subsidiaries, made rifles which killed millions of Indians. Today, Indians own it, and what Mr. Ratan Tata, the soft-speaking person, spoke in Cornell. The weak moment, he said, it is like the empire striking back. He brought dignity to this nation, made every Indian proud. So let's not look at it like any other small company. It's not any
other company. Gopal.
Yes, I think it's unprecedented, unrivaled, unequaled in every sense, in every dimension. Be it industrial activity and pace, be it employment, be it global reach. And just borrowing from what Thomas said, maybe the Jaguar is the new Maharaja. After all, even for royalty, they need a Maharaja eventually. So I think there's far too much of stake. There's already a lot of geopolitical turmoil. So I think the key thing at the moment is to make sure we don't rock the boat. There's complete stability. And I think that's very important at this point in time. So I think this requires
stability,
special handling.
Yeah.
Special handling to make sure that the boat stays the course. And I think it's in this context that what I call facilitators can quickly come in and make sure that this can be resolved. And also, both Tata Trust and Tata Sons have stellar captains. So I think you have eminent people, great captains, facilitators. I think the script is tailor-made to resolve this issue pronto and nip anything in the bud.
Yeah, I think the sense I'm getting from this panel, PK, is that this needs to be sorted out with or without government intervention. Already there's government intervention. But it seems to be leaning towards the view that Noel Tata, supported by Venu Srinivasan, who's also a man of, 4 or 5 decades of corporate leadership, that these are solid people. You don't need a group of people, however well-meaning, to come in as trustees and say, you don't know anything about how to run Tata Sons. We're going to complain about you. We're going to create trouble for you. That's not required, PK. I think the overwhelming feeling is Noel Tata should be allowed to run solidly, let the organization stabilize and settle this out instead of making it worse.
See, there are two things here. First of all, the notion that Tata Sons must be listed is a strange one. I mean, it is, Tata Sons, almost all the companies within the Tata Sons stable are now listed. Tata Capital will be listed next week. TCS, the listing of TCS was a gigantic step, and it has transformed the nature of the group in many ways.
Yeah.
Tata Motors, Tata Steel, these are all, Tata Tea, what is now Tata Global Beverages. These are all titans of their sectors within India and globally. So it is very important that the stability of this group be maintained. It is good for India. And it is very important to ensure that frictions in the holding company, the holding company of Tata Sons, to some degree is Tata Trusts, that it is important for India that there shouldn't be so much friction in Tata Trusts that it can be used potentially
by foreign
to destabilize
countries.
the entire group.
By foreign countries. That's the point. Ajay, 10 seconds I used to. In the present global context, can you wrap this up in 20 seconds with taking that forward from where he left it? That this present situation in the country and the potential attempt to destabilize the Tata Group.
Absolutely, Arnab. It's too important an issue. And this is a storm in a teacup. It will get resolved in favor of the Tatas, represented by Noel Tata. It is an attempt to destabilize to some extent, but it will not succeed. And there is a lot of case law, there is a lot of history, there's a lot of precedent, and there is a solution also staring at us. The doors are open for someone who doesn't agree with the governance. They don't need to take over if they feel that the governance is not there. And the governance is of the highest order, that the whole world knows what the Tata stand for, what Mr. Matthew has repeatedly said, that what they bring in is the platinum edge of ethics, of responsibility, of corporate social ethics and responsibility. So there is no question on that. I don't see this lasting too much. I hope October 10th meeting goes off well, and we get a solution.
I hope we'll have our cameras right outside if they choose to talk. I thank you very much. Thank you so much, Gopal. Thank you so much, Thomas, Matthew. Thank you so much, everyone, Ajay, PK, for joining me this evening. This has been an unusual conversation, but it is an important subject. The Tatas have to be stable, and that's why the government was forced to step in. I'll see you tomorrow at 8 o'clock with the big story, the impact story, and the big headline. Good night and goodbye.
Time for a quick breather. Arnab will be right back with the debate.